All right, shalom, y'all. Today on Spiritual Combat, we're talking about overcoming the spirit of rejection. That's the topic of today. Welcome to Spiritual Combat.
Chilling with my brother, same father, different mother. Yeah, chilling with my brother, same father, different mother. Yeah, oh, sweet and precious for us to dwell together. Same father, different mother. Yeah, it's like the on Mount Zion. Same father, different mother. Yeah.
Oh, how sweet and precious for us to dwell together. Same father, different mother. Yeah. It's like the dew on Mount Zion. Same father, different mother. Yeah. Oh, how sweet and precious for us to dwell together. Same father, different mother. Yeah. It's like the dew on Mount Zion. Same father, different mother. Yeah. Oh, how sweet and precious for us to dwell together.
Same father, different mother. Yeah.
It's like the dew on Mount Zion.
Same father, different mother. Yeah. Oh, sweet and precious for us to dwell together. Same father, different mother. Yeah. It's like the dew on Mount Zion. Same father, different mother. Yeah.
All right, y'all. Shalom, 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 y'all. Shalom. I'm Michael Israel. You're watching Spiritual Combat, and as you could tell, we have a good show for you today. Title of the show is Overcoming the Spirit of Rejection. And to really get down to it, this is going to be a comprehensive deep dive, a comprehensive breakdown of the spirit of rejection. I'm sure y'all have heard of it and everything. For those of you who haven't, you're definitely in for an eye opening experience. I would say it's really probably gonna, a lot of people be probably shocked, that this is operating in your life in some way, shape, or form. Um, but yeah, we're really gonna get after this thing. We're gonna come straight down the middle. We're gonna break things down to the granular level. You know what I'm saying? And with that said, let's get into it. And when we talk about the spirit of rejection, um, what is rejection? Um, and you can really just by going online, going on Google or something, and looking up the definition will give you a very good understanding of what it is. And rejection is the way they define it on Google was the underlying feeling that no one cares or loves you. Okay, um, and we're gonna really tie this in, of how you know you know pe- people fall into this, or this spirit comes upon people and starts operating in his life, in their life, and it wreaks havoc on everything. You know what I'm saying? It affects people's whole lives. And then when you really begin to get understanding about how far reaching this spirit is, you see how it's affected. You've seen it all through your life and in other people's lives. You've seen it in operation. Satan was rejected by Yah. Satan is a rejected spirit. Okay, we're gonna go into that more. But let's go in and break it down. So as we defined it, rejection is the underlying feeling. So it operates on a low level that you feel like people don't care about you or love you. Um, what I wrote here is we were designed to be loved and accepted and validated, and it was designed for that to be poured into us by our mothers and by our mothers and our fathers. You know what I'm saying? So we were designed to have a mother and a father, and them to pour the love into us that we need. But as you know, that's not the case today in a lot of ways. A lot of people come from broken families. There's a lot of fathers that simply just are not in their children's life because of the way that this modern beast system, um, because of their ideology, it just causes the destruction of families. They get the parents are not in their proper role, and it's not conducive to a functional family. So therefore, you have broken families. Just a lot of the ideology of this culture we live in is designed to destroy families. Um, but like I said, we were designed to be loved in uh, in a certain biblical way, and I'll get into that more, from our mother and from our father. There's a certain type of love you're designed to receive from your mother, certain type of love you were designed to receive from your father. Like I gave in my analogy on the last rejection episode I did, is like you're a cup and you're designed to be poured into in a certain way. Um, So what I wrote here is we must understand what rejection is and why we get rejected. Because if you grow up lopsided like that, not receiving the proper love you were designed to receive growing up, you're gonna grow up lopsided. There's gonna be certain things that actually cause people to reject you. We're gonna get into all that. Okay, you need to understand that. There will be things that will cause you to be rejected. You'll be a person that people don't desire to be around due to you not being properly loved growing up. We'll get into that though. Okay, so the way I what I found to really help people wrap their head around this whole thing is because when I did that last video, and I said it in that last video I did, I didn't have a complete understanding of this rejection thing. Well, now I feel like I have a good, like a large, you know 100,000 foot view understanding of this rejection, so that people can begin to have a good concept of what it is. So what I'm gonna do, um, I'm gonna go through all that in this video today. So the best analogy I have is, I call it the tree of rejection. I actually saw something on there about that. Um, and as you can see with this tree, whoops, let me go back to that. As you can see with this tree we have up here, the tree has roots that go deep into the ground and they spread out far and wide. It has a a tree trunk, and then it has branches with leaves, and it has fruits. And this tree is symbolizing rejection. And we're going to go through what the roots of rejection are. You know what I'm saying? The roots that get deeply rooted in order for this tree of rejection to grow. And then we're going to go into what the trunk of rejection is. And then we're going to go into what the branches of it are, all the way to what the fruit of rejection is, what it produces. Okay? Um, so that's what we're going to do. All right? All right. So we're going to get into the roots of rejection. Okay? What are the roots of rejection? And what I wrote here, so what the roots of rejection are, and I hit on some of them already. A lot of them come early on, early in our lives, where uh, being rejected by parents, whether consciously or unconsciously, known or unknown, where you have a lot of people that grow up in broken families where the father was never in the house, or the father was in the house and then the family split apart, and that parent was no longer there in the capacity that they needed to be. So that's one of them. That's one wound of rejection. Fatherless homes. Um, Another root of rejection is rejection from friends. Another major root of rejection, major cause of allowing that spirit of rejection to come on people is relationships. Divorce is almost guaranteed to bring a spirit of rejection on someone if not properly dealt with. Molestation, almost 100% guaranteed to bring that root of rejection on. Childhood trauma, parental neglect, where uh, people being ignored or whatever by their parents and everything like that. Okay, is almost guaranteed to begin to feed and to root rejection into your spirit. You see what I'm saying? Um, and the thing is, let me see. All right, let me move this forward. Okay, I'll come back to that. So these are and these are just some of the things that can happen to initially get that root of rejection growing in you. Um, you a lot of people you run into, man, they got all that. Some people they got all this stuff has happened, and they just that rejection is just deeply rooted in them, and that tree is just shooting up and it's big. Okay. Um, so what I put talking about some of these roots of rejection and stuff like that, I wrote parent, parental rejection can lead to a feeling of inadequacy because you did not receive the love you needed from your parents. Okay? I also wrote here, I saw this, somebody else had written this, and I came across it. It was definitely applicable to what we're talking about. It says, when the wounds of rejection are left untreated, they attract demons of rejection and other spirits. Okay? So they attract demons of rejection and other spirits. And what I put here, what we're moving to next is the trunk of rejection. So the trunk of that whole tree there is a feeling of rejection. That's the trunk of the tree of our, of this analogy we're doing is, having these roots of rejection from relationships or from parents or friends or relationships or childhood trauma, molestation, rape, you name it. Having those roots, if not dealt with according to the word in a biblical way, which we are going to get to that. So if it hasn't been dealt with in a biblical way, that tree's gonna begin to grow, and the trunk of rejection is a feeling of rejection, and remember the definition of rejection: the underlying feeling that no one cares or loves you. Okay, so that's the trunk of rejection, is the underlying feeling. You have this feeling that no one loves you and no one cares. And then that leads you to the branches of rejection. And that's secret shame. I'm gonna go through some of these. Low self worth, fear of rejection, inadequacy, sadness, anger, guilt, shame, social anxieties, embarrassment, a lot of stuff like that. We got more branches, finer branches, that and this is, some of these begin to go into the fruit that is produced from rejection. But feeling more embarrassed, feeling self-conscious, having low self-esteem, having self-doubt, displaying sudden outbursts of physical emotions, anger, tears, sadness, all that. So emotionally unstable. Um, having difficulty managing reactions and stuff like that. Um, Let me see something here. Okay. So these are some of the branches of rejection. These are some of the things that begin to get blossomed into. Um, and a lot of these, if we're going to get into it more, but a lot of these behaviors, are, depending on your temperament, they're going to dictate, what if you're aggressive or you're passive, is going to dictate what type of fruit you produce when you're a rejected person. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of people who are rejected, and they got to be better than everybody in everything. Everything's competition, this, that, and the other. Uh, I, I'll show you. I'll just do it now. Some classic textbook examples of people uh, um, oppressed by heavy spirits of rejection people that everybody would know would be Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, Mike Tyson. Like, these are people that heavily had heavy spirits of rejection. If you just go back and listen to Michael Jordan tell his story of how he grew up and how one day, like, his father used to compare him to his brother, and one day he felt like his father was, uh, you know, was more into his brother than him, and he literally talks about, now he don't know what he's talking about, but he literally talks about the spirit of rejection that came on him. And then when he got cut from the team, a heavy spirit of rejection came on him. And in the world's eyes, they idolize it. Like, yeah, he's the greatest. Go get his shoes and all this bullshit. But the reality is, it's just an unhealthy example of rejection that this wicked beast system holds in high esteem. Same thing with Michael Jackson. His whole thing, the only thing that would make his father happy or whatever, you know his story was him, the better he could perform. You know, that was what his father drove him to do and everything like that. And it was an unhealthy love that he received as a youth, you know. Mike Tyson, forget about it. Like I mean, his whole, and he's still highly damaged. You know, he stays high all the time and all this stuff like that, you know. But just a classic. You can see the damage that rejection can do to somebody spiritually and mentally. You know what I'm saying? When you look at some of these people here, Michael Jordan, Mike Tyson, Michael Jackson, you know what I'm saying? Um, but this is what it leads to. Um, okay, so I'm gonna have to jump around here a little bit. So now we move into the fruit of rejection. So this is what it produces in people's lives. This is what not being filled with the Yah ordained, with the Most High ordained type of love that you were designed to have poured into you growing up. When you don't receive that and you're not filled, you're an empty vessel. You haven't been poured into with the love that you need. Well, then what you do is you compensate for it in a myriad of ways, and we're going to go into that. And that brings us to the fruit of rejection. And I'm going to read through a bunch of it. It's one of them is pushing others away. Another one is lust, different types of perverse lust. Like you see a lot this whole the whole gayfer movement. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of that are rejected people going somewhere where they can get acceptance and get some type of love, albeit poisonous love, but what the Bible calls lust. You have people, there's a myriad of lustful ways that people, whether it's pornography addiction and everything in between and all that, some type of sexual activity, behavior. Um, but these are ways through lust that people seek to fill that void that rejection created in them. Another one is drugs. Another one, alcohol. To fill the void and sometimes to compensate for uh, things that you're lacking that never got poured into you because you didn't receive the proper type of love. So people, a lot of times people do drugs and drink alcohol to artificially compensate for that, or to nurture and care and to like comfort themselves. Here go another one. Food. You see a lot of overweight people, obese people, people who have these food addictions that can't give up sugar. Sugar is a comfort food. It's like a drug. Okay? That's another fruit of rejection where people will do this to artificially compensate for what they didn't receive. Okay? Um, Here are more fruits. Rejecting people. Okay? Rejecting other people due to paranoia that they're going to reject you, or due to paranoia that they're going to take advantage of you, or that they don't really like you, or that they got, you know what I'm saying? That's another fruit of rejection. And that's a fruit of rejection that a lot of parents unknowingly give their children. They reject their children because they're rejected and they don't even realize they're doing it. Strained relationships, hard hearted, having a hard heart, not letting anybody in, being distant, fault finding, Everyone against, having a mindset that everyone's against you. Trust issues. I put fault finding to justify yourself. Overeating, attention seeking, trying to do things to get attention and to get acceptance. I'll tell you this. Um, if y'all have ever been around comedians, like I've been around a couple comedians, I'm trying to remember that dude's name. Uh, it, it was a dude who played in Living Color, not Damon Wayans, but he'd play one of the kids for Homie the Clown or whatever. And he's been in a lot of movies. But anyway, I met him one time. And but if you watch a lot of comedians, when you talk to them, you could see that they're rejected. Cat Williams is a classic example of somebody suffering from rejection. If you listen to the story he tells of him and his father, you could see where that rejection stemmed from, because it was a strained relationship because his father was rejected. You know, so this thing, I mean, the roots are deep on this thing. But I've met a couple comedians, and when you like, one of them came to my base, and we were sitting there talking to him, and it was like the dude felt like he had to keep us laughing. And it was like, yo, just be yourself, man. You ain't gotta keep saying funny stuff. Like trying to keep the room laughing because the rejection and the insecurity there. Let's see. So I put attention seeking. Here's another big one: fantasy, or otherwise called escapism, where people are playing video games, watching movies, TV. They caught up in this anime stuff, always watching anime and everything like that. It's another big one. And they do this to escape the reality that people reject them. Here's some other heavy ones: suicide, manipulation. These are other ones. You see what I'm saying? So this thing runs deep, and the fruit of it is very destructive. Another one is rebellion. Stubborn, stiff-necked, rock-headed people. Like, you got a lot of people, they full of pride, and you can't tell them anything. And as a protection mechanism to stop them from having to face their true reality, they don't even see that they're prideful. Okay? And it culminates in rebellion. And what this stems from, a lot of you have a lot of men and women too who never receive fatherly love. And fatherly love isn't a coddling motherly love. Oh, you trip and fall, and oh, it's okay, baby, you're gonna be all right, let me come hug you and wipe it off. Where a fatherly love seeks to show you how to be self-sufficient, self-sustaining, shows you that a fatherly love will show you that you're stronger than you ever thought you were. You know, it's kind of it's that type of love. I care for you, and I want to show you how to care for yourself type of love. And a lot of, man, I can't tell you the number of men I run into that are totally void of that. And when I say totally void, they don't even know that they don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's totally alien to them because they've never had a man in their life. I wrote here, this kind of ties in the person, because a lot of rejected people prefer to be around people who simply accept them as they are, and don't mind if they stay the same. And what I wrote here is the person that accepts you as you are doesn't really love you that much. When someone struggles from rejection, their relationships are going to suffer, and they choose people that take advantage of their need for acceptance. You see what I'm saying? And these people, they take advantage of your need for acceptance. But you're so devoid of the love that you need that you take that acceptance, like you accept those off relationships. And that brings us to another branch and fruit, a type of fruit of rejection, and that's neediness. Needy people are rejected people. And what's neediness? I got a definition here. Uh, Let me do this. Okay, because I got to see it on my big screen. All right, let me see where we at. Okay. So I'm going to read through some things on neediness, okay? It says needy, marked by want of affection, attention, or emotional support. And I want to preface this, I want to say this. I'm not, everybody needs affection, attention, and emotional support. So I'm not saying if you want attention, affection, and emotional support, you're needy. A lot of stuff I've read over here, some people have in varying degrees a little. But when there's an inordinate amount of it, when it's extreme and it's very obvious, it's not hard to see if you do a little due diligence of yourself or you get around some brothers and sisters, they can show it to you, help you see it, or whatever. Or if you just look at your history, your past, you'll see this working in very, some people in extreme degrees. But when it's needy, this is to an extreme amount where they're real clingy, needy. It's like this uncomfortable energy that rejected, needy people exude, or that rejected people exude in general. And it says marked by want of affection, attention, and emotional support. Emotionally needy, someone who constantly needs someone to say or do something to feel secure and validated. Some signs being emotionally needy include being clingy, demanding, annoying. This is just another way of neediness, because you hear that word come out a lot. Understanding neediness, you have to understand rejection, because they're intertwined and basically the same. It's just a different word for the same thing. But rejection, uh, properly explained, covers this whole mechanism that operates in a lot of people. Okay? Being clingy, demanding, annoying, fragile. Wanting to be close to a partner and having a need for intimacy. Again, when this is to an inordinate extent, okay? Fear that a partner doesn't want to be as close as they want, a push for constant conversation, persistently asking for reaffirmations of love, seeking out compliments, wanting to spend every moment together, difficulty making decisions alone, anger, sadness when a partner spends time with other people. Some things that can cause neediness include fear of abandonment. So what we're doing, we're literally going back to the branches and the fruit that we already talked about. Low self-esteem, strong need for approval, validation from others, and unhealthy dependence on others for emotional support. So coming back to rejection, another way of breaking down this rejection mechanism is arrested development. In this area of love where you needed to be nurtured as a child and even as a baby, you could even have rejection from the womb as a root cause of this. And when you lack that in this particular area of your life, even though you're a grown man, a grown woman, a grown adult, in this particular area, you literally function like a child. Like when you read through this neediness stuff here, you're literally functioning like a child. You understand what I'm saying? In this particular emotional, spiritual area of yourself. Okay? So moving forward, okay? Put a 100 up in the air if this is resonating, if you're getting what I'm saying, because I'm trying to stay in purpose, on purpose. I'm trying not to deviate and be all over the place because I want to make sure that understanding goes forth on this thing, because this is a major thing, spirit uh, operating among us. Okay. Um, Let me see what else I have here. Secret branches. Okay. Okay. So, and y'all don't get discouraged because y'all like, damn, that's me. What do I do, Michael? Look, we ain't gonna leave you, man. We gonna get into the biblical spiritual solutions to this thing. Okay, we're gonna get into the biblical spiritual solutions to this thing. Um, Let me move this. Moved it. Okay, there we go. Okay, y'all just bear with me. Being strong. So I might have already read these. Yeah, I already read those. Okay, so we went through that. Again, like I said, we talked about all the different ways people seek to fill this rejection void. Okay, um, mind. And this is one of the insidious things that being like with me being a head of assembly, dealing with a lot of saints. What you see, rejection, the spirit of rejection, it's a spiritual attack on your mind. It doesn't attack. It's not like an attack on the heart. Like you see saints, they sincerely want to serve the Most High and be righteous and be obedient in their heart, but in their mind, they're under attack by this spirit of rejection that's on them. And what I'm seeking to do again in this show, this comprehensive deep dive into rejection, is just shedding light on it, and then we're gonna put the word on this thing too. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so one of the things I talked about is how you have you have aggressive people and you have docile people who struggle with rejection. And the the fruit aggressive people who struggle with a spirit of rejection that they a lot of times they bear is aggressive reactions, anger, fault finding, somehow one uh but yeah, basically fault finding. So that they can find a way to reject other people because they have fear of rejection. They have hardness of heart, skepticism, bullying others, argumentative, being controlling over other people. These fruits end up hurting others, okay? And then you have the docile type people who they don't outwardly, you know, uh, you know, project or manifest, you might say. So these people are self-rejected, chronic shyness, self-pity, fear of failures, fear of others, hopelessness, self-criticism, and despair, pessimism, depression, lack of confidence, withdrawal, uh, drain energy to be around. Their energy. They call them energy vampires. So, like Michael Jordan was a aggressive, uh, rejected person who covered his rejection with pride. And if you watch some of them documentaries and listen to Michael Jordan talk, he's extremely prideful. He tears other people down. He He tells anybody he comes across, like, yeah, I'll beat you. You can't win against me. I'm better than you at this. And that's cool to a degree, but it's just so lopsided with him. Because I watch a lot of motivational videos and watch a lot of stuff about Michael Jordan. And at the end of the day, he seems like an asshole to be around, and he admits it on the team. He's like, the people would like fear him, and he'd be willing to fight these people, you know. And again, when we look at it from this lens, we see what's operating there. Whereas go to Michael Jackson, and he's self-rejected. He implodes on himself. This self-pity and all that, all that crap, and all, you know, you can compare and contrast and see the difference, you know. But it's rejection nonetheless. But in this world, this wicked, evil world, they're gonna hold these people up as icons, and they're gonna push you to aspire to be like them. Well, one dude bleached his skin, dressed like a woman, talked like a woman, and danced. Okay? And then the other dude played a children's game real good. And these are the people that you put in front of me to look up to. You see what I'm saying? Instead of a King David, or, you know what I'm saying, a Moses. You see what I'm saying? Or Jesus Christ. um, Defense mechanisms that a lot of these, because a lot of what we talked about have been the passive rejected people. That's the best way to describe it. The people who are passive rejected people, how they respond. The aggressive rejected people mask it with pride, and their coping mechanisms and the fruit they produce of rejection are chronic competitiveness, criticism, domination, manipulation, control, criticism, pride, arrogance, envy, selfishness, perfectionism. To stay in control, people may attack, criticize. Let's see. Envy anything that threatens their defense mechanisms. Okay? And it says their defense mechanisms, they're rooted in a spirit of fear. Fear of what? Fear of rejection. It talks about controlling behavior. Also comes with dominating behavior, intimidating behavior. The combination of spirits is called the Jezebel spirit. You know what I'm saying? So, but a lot of this has its roots in rejection, these things, okay? Let me see. Let's see. So, with that said, I laid out what the first part of what I wanted to talk about, and that is this whole tree of rejection, the roots that cause it. We went over the trunk of that tree, okay? What the trunk of that tree is, and then we went over the branches and the fruit that it produces. And it in a lot of ways, this explains a lot of people that you've encountered in your life. This probably explains a lot of things you wrestle with. Okay? Now, what we're going to get into, right after I check these comments, because I see there's a lot of comments in there now. Now, what we're going to get into is the solutions, because that's what matters. What's the answer? Okay, so we're gonna get into that. I'm looking through these comments real quick just to see uh, what you saints are talking about. Definitely a lot there, a lot of comments there. And like I said, I'm just I'm no, not Tommy Davidson. Somebody said Tommy Davidson. Nah, it wasn't Tommy Davidson, that comedian that I talked to. This was the comedian who got hit by a Walmart truck. He got in that accident, and a Walmart truck hit him. And he was out of it for a while, and then he got well. Now he's back in movies and stuff. Yeah. So somebody said yes. Mine was to help and serve, and Shep Noah taught me not the world. This is a few years back. Yeah, one of the things, one of the things we're gonna get into effective ways of dealing with this stuff. Okay. Somebody said for Okay, let me see. I'm just going through here. I can't read everything. Need help. I need to serve. No, man, right. Okay, so we got a lot of. Okay, everybody put 100. Big facts, bro. Okay, there it is. Tracy Morgan. Yep, that's his name. Tracy Morgan. Yep. Yeah, I met him, and we was chilling. I was talking to him at the base and everything. And I didn't know what it was I was seeing because that was back in the day. But yeah, now it's pretty obvious what I was seeing. He was full of rejection. Okay, so and look, keep it 100 because I've met a lot of. I ain't gonna say a lot of, but I've met some celebrities, and man, they're off. Okay, they've heavily rejected. All right, so now what we're gonna get into is the solutions, because at the end of the day, that's what matters. Okay, and we're gonna start with um, with Colossians chapter 3 verse 5. It says, "Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth, from fornication, uncleanliness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry." So these things are a type of what the world calls love. When you're going out there and you're gratifying your lust at the expense of others, you know what I'm saying? These are This is idolatry. When you function in a spirit of rejection, you're gonna go out there and you're gonna try to get this love in it, or what you're led to believe is love, or what fills that need that you have that never got fulfilled when you were a child. You're gonna go out there and get that need fulfilled at others' expense in a myriad of ways, or at the expense of yourself, of your own health, sanity, you name it. Okay, and this is Satan at work. This is what he seeks to do. But the answer to this thing is Galatians chapter 5 verse 22. This is the type of love you were supposed to receive as a child. It says, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law." So, a lot of people, they're so rejected and damaged, they have a hard time even receiving love. Okay. Let's see. So, what is What's the answer to this thing? What is the solution? Well, I'm going to put it up here right now. Hold on. Gotta go to my slide. What is the solution? Well, here it is. In, in, basically in this order. And step one is taking an honest look at yourself. Look at what might be causing people to reject you. If you're one getting rejected, okay? Look at what might be causing people to reject you. Look at these behaviors that you're um, uh, that you might be exuding. If if you if you're watching this and it's really convicting you, like certain parts of this are really cutting, that's a check engine light on your dashboard saying, hey, you might want to hook the scan tool up and see what's going on with this thing. Okay? You might want to dig in and take a good, hard, honest look at yourself. Because look, Satan is a deceiver. He's real smooth and slick, and pride is the one of the ways he'll slide in there real fast. You know what I'm saying? Rejection is all that goes hand in hand. So you have to take a good, hard, honest look at yourself. Um, you need to 2 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 4 yourself. That's why I said 2 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 4. You need to apply that to yourself. And I'm going to put it up here for you. It says, for the weapons. So the way you're going to fight this isn't with arguing with people and doing all this stuff out here. This warfare is not carnal. It says, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds. This spirit of rejection is a stronghold, y'all. Okay? It has a strong hold on you. And it hasn't let go. But the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but they're mighty through God to the pulling down of these strongholds. But this is what you need to do, is this verse 5. You need to cast down imaginations and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, and bring into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. Well, guess what? In order to do this, you have to be aware of what you're thinking. You have to be aware of the thoughts and the feelings that rise up in your mind. Okay? And then you need to bring them into the captivity and into the subjection of Christ, into the obedience, and make them line up with this word. But what's going to happen, a lot of y'all, most of y'all are not going to be able to do that because this is a spirit of rejection. And that is where this comes in. Whoops. Let me go back. That is where deliverance comes in. You need to see this spirit on you, come out of agreement with it, and get with your brothers and sisters. And because when two or more are gathered in his name, there he is, get this spirit cast off you. You need deliverance. You need, a big part of this is having your brothers and sisters around you. If you're an isolationite, or if you're an individualite and you're off to yourself, you're not going to be able to do this. A lot of y'all won't even know that you got a spirit of rejection on you because you off to yourself somewhere. You're not being obedient to what the word says about gathering yourselves together, O nation not desired. You're not coming out from among them, be ye separate. You're forsaking the assembling. You know what I'm saying? And you know, when they asked Christ, hey, what are the two most important laws? He said, love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and love your brother as you love yourself. And I can't tell you the number of people that they not they don't love their brothers, they love themselves. They don't love their sisters, they love themselves. You can't do that if you're an individualite, if you're an isolationite, if you're not around saints. You see what I just put at the bottom of the screen? I put the number up there for if you desire fellowship. But getting back on topic, I'm staying focused. I'm staying locked in. ADD don't got no place here. We on topic. Deliverance is literally step one. But if you don't see this on you, if you're not paying attention to the thoughts and the feelings and the emotions that pop up in you, and you don't see them and you can't compare them to the word, you're not going to realize you're off. You're not going to acknowledge that you have a spirit of rejection on you. You're not going to see it. The other thing I put here is supplication, supplicating to the Most High. That's the action of asking or begging for something earnestly or humbly. Okay, so that's seeking the Most High. You see what I'm saying? That's seeking Him out. Y'all put a 100 up in there if that makes sense. That's praying. That's fasting. That's reading your word. And when I say reading the word, I just, okay, I read a chapter. I read a chapter of the Bible every morning. Hallelujah. And you still wicked as shit and full of demons. I wonder why. Because it's not just reading to say you read so you can feel all spiritually. No, it's digging in and figuring and getting in that word to figure out what's off with you, what you need to fix. Seeking the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Finding Bible lessons that's teaching on it. Does that make sense? Put a 100 up in there if that makes sense. I be saying this all the time though. And then look what I put here. Ooh. Because this is what's going to stir them spirits up so you can see them in full operation. Love those who despitefully use you. Let's see if I got that Bible verse. Let me get that Bible verse. Hold on. Yeah, I'm going to find it. But for it'll come up in my, I think I put it in here, but y'all know the Bible verse I'm talking about, even if it doesn't. All right. Romans. We got a Romans chapter 12, verse 2, our minds. Okay? So let's hit that. All right? Let's get it. It says, Romans chapter 12, verse 2, KJV. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. You see what I'm saying? We trying to make it make sense. All right. Let's see. So here's that one of those verses. This ain't the verse I was just talking about, but let me show you this one. When they asked Jesus, this is what I was telling y'all earlier. Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Jesus said unto him, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. And I'm telling you, I'm going to say it again, this spirit of rejection will hinder you from doing this second one. And, you know, one of the things, uh, one of the things you got to keep in mind with dealing with this spirit of rejection is, you know, the importance of patience and diligence. This thing ain't gonna come overnight. What, Mike? Why are you telling me that? I'm telling you that because I'm working on it right now. I'm on my journey dealing with all this stuff, and it's a process. And I'll be honest, when I first embarked on it and got started on this thing, for the longest, absolutely nothing was happening. I wasn't getting any understanding. And then as I continued to just chop away at it, things began to loosen up and break loose and break through, you know, and began to move forward. But it's still a work in process, okay? And you know, like I said, one of the things where I said love those who despitefully use you, and check this out. I put here, learn, I put it on the screen for y'all. Learn to walk in forgiveness. Literally learn, especially when you're around the saints and you're a part of a home assembly where you are it's an iron sharpening iron environment that we need to be in if we desire to be made whole, to be righteous. Um, you need to learn to walk in forgiveness. So literally be ready to forgive. And that is gonna you know that brings me to the next deep dive that I'm gonna do on a particular spirit or whatever, and that's gonna be um, bitterness, resentment, unforgiveness, all that. I'm gonna be working on that here soon too. Okay, that's gonna be the next one. Um, you see what I'm saying? Uh, we're gonna go deep into that because what happens was closely, intimately tied to this spirit of rejection is a spirit of bitterness, resentment, and unforgiveness. And that's right where Satan wants you bitter. Because if you can't forgive your brother, the Most High is not going to forgive you. And that's what Satan wants. He wants you rejected. He wants you bitter. He wants you unforgiven. He wants you to operate in that till it kills you and then you're damned. Okay? And I'm telling you, y'all, I done seen this thing on people. Man, growing up, man, a bunch of people are coming to mind that I've seen this thing, man, where this thing, because of divorce and coming up in broken families, that like people come up in a broken family, they get molested, they get in a relationship, they get divorced, and then bitterness and unforgiveness sets in, and you watch that shit rot them out to death and they die. And I've seen it, y'all. Man, I've seen it in my family. I've seen it in people and neighbors. And just, I remember, man, all these people come to mind growing up. And I saw that on them, man. And it's like, yo, it ain't nothing nice, man. This is why I am thankful for where I'm at. I'm thankful to be a part of a ministry like this where, you know, everybody think, oh, Straightway is about community building. And then other people be like, oh, Straightway, you following a man. It's about that pastor down. Dude, Straightway is a place that the Most High set up, and it's an environment conducive to spiritual growth and development. That's what it is. And it's headed up by Pastor Dow, who pushes this right here, this spiritual growth and development. That's why I put that number up on screen. And look, we ain't one of these churches where we trying to promote something and grow something. Look, you like that song, make me whole. We need to be made whole, man. Folks is broken and jacked up. And some people walking around, you know, it's like, hey man, it's like, bro, you got a big ass fucking demon on your head, bro. There's a demon on your head. You see it? It's like a big ass demon, and nobody's telling them about it. We'll tell you about it, or walk around rejected, feeling rejected. And I went through this. You know, people. I had somebody. I don't know what was going on with them, but I think this needs to be said because what we're talking about is a spirit of rejection. Um, it's some people think like it's a sin to reject people. No, people, you need to reject people. People need to get rejected. Like when people are not lining up with this word, you need to reject them and step away from them and not be around them, not be dealing with people that are contrary. Absolutely. I mean, we could book that. We could Bible that. And I think there's people get this confused like, oh, you're not supposed to reject someone because they're going to feel rejection. No. You need to work your salvation out with fear and trembling. That's what you need to do. Okay? you know? Because a big part of overcoming this spirit of rejection is seeing you have to go back and visit past rejections and see where you had your part in it, you know, in a lot of it. And then you also have to recognize, hey, I was there might be situations, hey, I didn't play a part in it, but there needs to be understanding because a lot of shedding the light of understanding on these situations will help take away the sting and it'll help unroot those roots of rejection. It's the soil around it, and it's going to help loosen those roots up. Like let's take somebody who might have been molested. Well, you got to realize, this some demonic ass person that was full of the spirit of rejection was bearing the fruits of that wicked ass spirit. And I came out of, they might say, I came from a broken family. And then one of the other things that, hey, we're under the curses. And that's why my family was that way. Oh, this is why all this was jacked up. And I was born into sin and shaped in iniquity. And now here I am. I'm hearing the truth. The Most High has made a way where I could be made whole. And I'm alive. I'm not dead. I'm not in the judgment now. I have time to become righteous, to have life, and have it more abundantly. You see what I'm saying? Y'all let me know if that makes sense. With that said, y'all, I went through all my slides. Like I said, y'all, I wanted to come straight down the middle on this thing. I didn't want to veer left or right. I want to come straight down the middle on this thing so that, this could reach a lot of people and, give them understanding in this particular area that they might be wrestling with. And I know from, I've been out, I've done, in my years, I've dealt with a lot of people. Just, from being in the Air Force, traveling, just a lot of stuff I've done in my life. I've met a lot of people. I lived in a lot of places, okay? There are a lot of broken, rejected people. suffering with bitterness, unforgiveness, all this stuff, and they can't make heads or tails of it. They don't see why it happened. Why is this like that? You know, and that's what you have to do. You have to put the pieces together, and okay, and then see the whole big picture. You know, and you know you need to understand all these big concepts of that. Hey, this whole world lies in the hands of Satan, of evil. This whole world's wicked, and it's the deceptive wickedness. And this is why these things happen. This is why people walk around with these types of spirits on them and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, this is a heavy show I did today. For the saints that are part of the Straightway studio assembly, this is mandatory listening for y'all. We're going to do a Bible, our virtual Bible study that we do in the morning on Shabbat. This is what we're going to be talking about. Okay? This is going to be the topic of discussion. Um, to the rest of you brothers and sisters that are listening, man, y'all need to look into this spirit, start doing this work on yourself, and start getting deliverance. Get around some faithful saints. You know what I'm saying? In this dead season, because look, this dead season, I know this dead season has shown some of these areas to you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, definitely, you know, do your due diligence on this thing. Anyway, with that said, do y'all have any questions, comments, concerns, anything you want to add in? Y'all can type it in down there. Let me see what y'all saying. Y'all want a copy of my y'all want a copy of my slides? Hey, I'll do this. Okay? Hold on. Share. Let's see. Restricted. Anyone with link. Y'all hold on. Y'all can only view it. Copy. Okay. What I posted there in the chat is a copy. That's the link. So to the to my slides. You know, I didn't think my slides were that good because I put them together this morning hastily throughout the day. But if y'all thought they were pretty good, you know, hey, hallelujah. I'm encouraged. But yeah, just get that link. My recommendation to you, what y'all need to do is get your camera, take a picture of it with your camera right now, so because it's on the screen, and you can type it in. You can type it into your, you know, to your browser, key by key, like, okay. So I'll leave that up there for a little while. I'm gonna read some of y'all's comments. Y'all said, "Great broadcast, brother Israel. I'm going to go back and watch this from the beginning." Somebody else said, "That's military right there. Always want to copy of the slides whenever teaching is good." Well, I'm glad it was good. This in our assembly, in the Straightway Studio assembly here, this is the season, I guess you could say, we're in. Is It's a season of deliverance. We're really focusing in on deliverance in a big way because, you know, a lot of people are wrestling with stuff. So we're making a very aggressive push with deliverance and with brothers and sisters getting just understanding what they might be wrestling with and stuff like that. So hopefully everybody took a picture of it. If you didn't, all you gotta do is do the rewind it. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what else y'all saying. Great broadcast. Well, I'm glad y'all get it, man. I'm glad y'all get it. See what happened in the past. People, I would read something in the book, and they're like, "Yeah, spirit of rejection. Yeah, that's spirit of rejection. The spirit of rejection is this," and they give kind of a brief thing. But I kept hearing about it so much, and then as I started digging in it, I was like, "Yo, this thing is, whew. This is a root spirit." But at one point, I was like, I thought it was the root spirit, But there's other big things also, and like I said, the next thing we're gonna go into is gonna be what's that called? Bitterness, unforgiveness, and stuff along that line. So that's another big one, And people people, man, folks walking around with these spirits unchecked, unknowingly, they'll test that. They'll test your patience and stuff like that, and show you where you need to grow at. And that's why it's such a beautiful thing to be a part of a home assembly, to be gathered together with the saints, with like-minded believers, so everybody could be sharpened and perfected. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I hope that makes sense to y'all. Anyway, with that said, man, I appreciate everybody tuning in. At some point here soon, I'll be revamping some of my music on here and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm going to have to do that. But anyway, we're going to take it out with the same songs. For those of y'all who be asking for the name of the songs, they're actually there on screen if you look closely. But anyway, with that said, I'm Michael Israel. You watching Spiritual Combat. Oh, and I look forward to seeing you at the feast. For those of you who are being obedient and coming to the feast, I look forward to fellowshipping with y'all. Definitely come up and say shalom, Brother Michael Israel. Let me know who you are and like to meet y'all. Everybody know my story. I like to hear y'all's story. So I look forward to talking to y'all. What y'all going to find out is I'm very friendly. I don't bite. The same way you see me talking on here, the way I'm going to talk to you when I see y'all out there at the feast. Anyway, y'all, with that said, I'm Michael Israel. You're watching Spiritual Combat. And shalom, shalom.
Turn that up. Gotta learn how to bleed the blood of your whole body. Stay in the spirit. Cause Satan could use you if you let him. You cannot win, I see your trickery. We at the end, ain't none of that getting me. Confessing my sin, I'm watching my enemy. Scripts in my head, it hit me like Kennedy. I know the devil is trying to get rid of me. Walking the spirit, so that mean I'm killing me. Get it behind me, I don't want you feeling me. Get it behind me, I don't want you feeling me. You cannot win, I see your trickery. We at the end, ain't none of that getting me. Confessing my sin, I'm watching my enemy. Scripts in my head, it hit me like Kennedy. I know the devil is trying to get rid of me. Walking the spirit, so that mean I'm killing me. Get it behind me, I don't want you feeling me. Get it behind me, I don't want you feeling me. He been on my line since a younger was a child. Had me shooting guns, popping pills, smoking loud. I'm the main event, but I was following the crowd. Wish I would've known what I know right now. Mama ain't raping like this, had her yelling in the house like where in the hell we go wrong. Mama and them curses can leave us alone. We made an oath to the one on the throne. Them angels was with us, was never alone. Mercy and grace coming straight from the throne. When this was missing, I made it back home. Mama never had to give me a loan. He had to open my eyes, I had to put down my pride. Boy, I'm so lit, I'm alive. We gon' follow the Messiah. We gon' follow the Messiah. Messiah, I'm a lick. A bond. Messiah, Messiah. I'm a lick. How about some of Messiah? Ooh. You cannot win, I see your trickery. We at the end, ain't none of that get to me. Confessing my sin, I'm watching my enemy. Scripts in my head, it hit me like Kennedy. I know the devil is trying to get rid of me. Walking the spurs, so that mean I'm killing me. Get it behind me, I don't want you feeling me. Get it behind me, I don't want you feeling me. You cannot win, I see your trickery. We at the end, ain't none of that get to me. Confessing my sin, I'm watching my enemy. Scripts in my head, it hit me like Kennedy. I know the devil is trying to get rid of me. Walking the spurs, so that mean I'm killing me. Get it behind me, I don't want you feeling me. Get it behind me, I don't want you feeling me.
Hallelujah. Blessed and highly favored. I love myself as well as my neighbor. Enjoy peace and love, yet I'm nothing to play with. Y'all running with the latest, what I believe is sacred. Our Father in heaven gave us eyes to see, to make distinctions between the psyops and the prophecies. I'm from a place where they downplay your atrocities, give you milk and cheese and never pay the proper fees. My brother's trying to calm the beast by copping pleas, but the only place the beast want the sheep is in his teeth. Father, forgive them for they know not what they do, but don't mistake, that's for the sheep who fell away, that's not for you. A wolf knows he ain't in the dark about his plans. He coming for the flock, he want that blood on his hands. Wants your throat not to breathe. In the lake of fire, he wants you to go beneath. Praying on you until your flesh, he wants you to sow a seed. Deferred hope maketh the heart sick. Yeah, Satan love it when you deceive. Disparaging remarks about our heritage and false narrative that said there's no merit to what we read, man. That gaslight like a flashlight. I was born at night, but it wasn't last night. Y'all need to get that bag right. Wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. One hell of a ticket, pun intended. Don't you say I cuss. We've been through enough, 400 plus. Our time is up. Take off these cuffs. I've been in repentance for this lust. Not with the porn, but I can swipe up an image and feel disgust. What? They think I'm tripping cause I want more for myself. So that even in my thoughts I'm not whoring myself, yeah. Luring myself away from righteousness with my desire. My right hand mislead me, cut it off like Michael Myers. Life is easy, it's just complicated by these liars. Truth is confiscated, to get it you need the God of Zion. They confuse the sheep with disbelief and self-reliance. Took the Father's name off creation and blamed the science. Hebrews never boarded but still became compliant. Mission aborted, some of us refuse to slay this giant. That talking head should be severed off and dead. Bring us Pentecost instead, let's start speaking with tongues of fire. Ain't wanna preach to us, now the preaching coming from the choir. Y'all too corporate, tell me how does the preacher retire? I see y'all done bought the lies and y'all receipt expired. From the Holy Spirit, I don't never want no peace and quiet. The sheep hear the word of the most majestic, wonderful counselor, blessed voice of the shepherd. Meanwhile, all of the goats are disconnected, lawless, trading the promise of the blessed for a death wish.